I haven't seen our friend Dan Tom in a couple of weeks. He's been a busy guy, though, with a lot of summertime activities that he's been.
So have you. I saw some of the stuff you've been doing.
Yeah, I well, I'm glad you dropped by today because we've got a lot to talk about. What do you have on the agenda?
Well, I'm a motorcycle rider and I work on a motorcycle a little bit as a police officer too. And so I'm here to kind of talk to both sides, not just the cars watch out for motorcycles, which is important, but guys riding motorcycles. Because sometimes we get 10-foot tall and bulletproof. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so that's where I'm at today. Is like, and I will run a Facebook post this next week or two in regards to, hey, slow down or shouldn't say slow down, for guys that aren't motorcycle riders. Look for us. Look, because that simple turn in front of us and you're going to kill us. I mean, that's basically it. Um, and so you have to take that extra second just to take a 1, 2, 3 look, even 4 looks, if what it might be. But I also want to tag the motorcycle guys too, because sometimes we drive like we're the size of a semi. We drive a little faster, or we drive a little more aggressive. We come into corners pretty hot. All those things we do because we love to ride. Okay, I understand that. But you got to remember this, guys. If you ride a motorcycle, you're invisible, literally invisible. People do not see you. You have to drive like everybody doesn't see you. And so I can't stress that enough. And I know anybody that's listening that rides a motorcycle will agree with me. So I'm talking to those guys that will agree with me. I'm asking you just to get a little head on your shoulders, slow down a little bit, and take an extra second every intersection, because we've had 5 deaths in the Magic Valley this summer on motorcycles, and 3 of them were other people's fault, and 2 of them were motorcycle faults. So we do make the mistakes as well. So I guess what I'm trying to do is say, get your head on straight, drive like everybody's trying to kill you, and you'll have a much better time. It sounds horrible. You'll have a much better
Mm-hmm.
time. And then we have a ride this weekend, a Vietnam veterans ride from Harmon Park. They're going to do a kind of a trip. So if you're a Vietnam vet, even if you don't ride, come to the park between 12 and 4. There's a picnic, and I think there's a band too, if I remember right. There's a band going, and you maybe get to see some of the people you serve with. So I'm going to be part of that this weekend. So I'm kind of excited to meet a lot of the guys. I have 2 brothers of Vietnam vets, and my sheriff, Tom Carter's a Vietnam vet too. And so we just want to thank them for that unthinkable war, I guess we'd call it.
When you talk a little bit about driving and being careful out there, I had a situation, and I'll mention this just briefly, but because earlier this week there was a survey out that said Idaho has the politest drivers in the country, and yet I was at Winco the other day and I turned to out of my parking space, and some guy came even though there's arrows painted, he came the opposite way against traffic in that particular aisle and it was very difficult for him to get around me, and I could see he was cussing me as he went by. And then he rolled down the window and whistled at me like, hey, we should go right here. And of course, he was driving in town and country, and I think anybody doing that probably has to give up their man card
That's
anyway.
probably true. Yeah, yeah.
But but we get into these situations when it's 100 degrees, and boy, people have some bad tempers out there.
Yeah, I mentioned this before. It's like if we're in a grocery store, we would never cut in front of somebody. We have that, but we get in a car, we turn into raving maniacs. We're flipping old ladies off. We're willing to get in a fight over a parking lot. I mean, come on, guys. Realistically, life is way too short to play games like this. There's a song by Alabama. I'm in a hurry to get somewhere, and by rush and rush, and like, and that song really brings a big picture to life. Slow down, enjoy it. Road rage is absolutely insane in my idea. I've driven in Thailand, and I can say that because they don't have road rage over there, and everybody drives to offend everybody else, but nobody gets mad. But in America, my gosh, you cut somebody off, and the next thing you know, the fingers are flying, the guns are coming out, and people are willing to beat somebody up over something like that. It's crazy.
And the odd thing is he looked to be my age or older, so we got 2 old white-haired guys.
That'd have been a picture, wouldn't it?
What are we going to do? Grab canes and swinging them at
Slug it
each
out in
other?
the parking lot over a parking space. Believe me, it happens. It does.
We got about a minute left. I'm going to squeeze a caller in
All
here.
right.
Caller, very quickly. You're on the air on KLIX. Go ahead.
Yes, I've been hearing quite a few commercials about motorcycles and having people look twice, 3 times, 4 times. I was wondering if they're going to plan a commercial for telling motorcycle drivers to slow down and be careful and quit driving like maniacs?
Absolutely. You just got one in just about 30 seconds ago from me. You'll see it on our Facebook page as well. So yeah, I'm on both sides of this thing. I'm a driver of a car and I'm a driver of a motorcycle. You guys, we have to drive like there's other people on the road, and I think that's the biggest thing. So yeah, you're right, caller. I got to tell you, that's true. We need to get our heads screwed on straight and drive properly.
And the other day, I had somebody on the interstate. I was doing 80 with cruise
And they
control.
right past you.
Yeah, with a
So,
motorcycle.
yeah. Well, driving a motorcycle, there's a freedom. And then yet, and I don't know if it's chasing death or facing death. Maybe it is, because my wife and I were riding up Highway 84 up to Boise. And, we're doing 80 miles an hour, and it's like one little wiggle and you're dead.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a freedom that you beat death. But that's the problem, is some people get a hold of that and they run with that too much. And so slow down, think about what you're doing, and understand everyone is going to out there to kill you.
It's the same group of people that grab a parachute and jump off a bridge.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would never do it, but they would never get on a motorcycle, that kind of thing there too. So I'm not judging anybody in any way. I'm just saying that we do love to face death and beat it. So
Yeah, we're going to see you, I think, in another week or so, right?
yeah, next week.
So
Yeah.
I got to look at my planners on the desk in the other room, but I knew that. It was
Yeah.
somewhere in my head. But we'll talk soon. And
Sounds great.
we'll pick this subject up too as well. We get a chance again at some point.
Yeah, and the other thing too, I really love to talk about is impaired drivers with motorcycles too. So yeah, come with that.
We've got more on the way. In fact, Bill Kyle from McDonald's Restaurants and Ken Robinette joining us in just a few minutes. We're going to be talking about a big charity event coming up on Monday. In fact, I'll be participating in that too, just to let you know.